Ladies and gentlemen, we are still on, and then we'll have our next speaker speak to us. But before our next speaker will speak to us, please, are you on the line?
I'm here.
Yes, please.
Okay, so Mami is on the line. Okay, so the speaker is here. All right, sure. Very
Yes,
clear.
please.
I like your camera. It's very clear. All right. So our speaker today, he has been introduced already. Mami did that. Mami, can you redo that for me?
Okay, so
Yeah, because of our live
next
stream.
okay, no problem. Our next speaker is Mr. Prince Ampofo. I am tempted to call him Pastor Prince Ampofo because he's working with Gideon, which means he's a man of God. So Pastor Prince Ampofo is an author, he's a TEDx speaker, and he is a leadership coach. Pastor, or let's say Nyaminipa, Akwaba to our session today. We hope that you give us a lot of words of impact.
All right. Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure to be here. Please, I hope I can, my voice is clear enough
It's
to
very loud and clear. Very loud and clear.
fantastic. I've been blown away by what has already been shared by Morris and Jeremiah. Clearly, they are speaking the language that needs to be sounded the most in a time like this. Ghana is there, Africa is ready. And I'm excited that people like Benjamin have put things together to get all of us busy, okay? And not just busy, but busy doing fantastic work and bringing change where change is most needed. So I'm going to be very snappy about the process, but what I'm going to do is attempt to bring the conversation very close to you and to make you the subject of perhaps the learnings that we have been talking about. Clearly, like Maurice mentioned, it's a good time to prepare for a world that is fast changing. And clearly, also from Jeremiah's passion on what he does, something shifted when he began to do these things. It is really the story of that we don't have time to waste. If there's anything we can do at all, this is its time. And I want to begin with a story. It will be great to hear some voices on this one. Okay. Let's say you are riding a bicycle. You are moving very fast, but then you pass through a certain neighborhood and a dog starts chasing you. Um, and it is seeming as if the dog is catching up on you. My question to you is, what would you do in that situation? If I can hear one or two people speak up. You are running and
We'll
a dog,
speed up. I'll speed up.
you speed up. Okay. But the dog is chasing you and he's almost catching up. You still speed up. Fantastic. Anybody? Any other person?
I will leave the bike to him fly.
Okay, so you leave the bike somewhere and then if you can even disappear, you disappear. All right, thank you. Anyone? Okay, so clearly it means that I don't know how many of you a dog has chased, okay, but I have an experience where a dog chased me. And honestly, the sad part is that I stayed in the same house with that dog. It was my grandfather's dog. And even though we're in the same house, he didn't like me much. And the reason I bring this is that it seems as if whenever you have something coming at you, you begin to move faster, at least from what we are saying now. The second part of what I want to talk about is, especially if you're in Accra, I'm sure you know about Kaneshi, okay? And if you are familiar with Kaneshi, the underbridge, usually if you want to head to a place like Kaswa, and then you are under the Kaneshi underbridge, okay, with the hopes that you can pick a car, probably on a Monday, maybe 5 to about 6 p.m. Okay, and so it's evening, and you are attempting to take a trotro to Kaswa. And if you have been in that situation before, you'd notice that um, being gentle around the time, Okay, if you go there and then you are gentle, you are going to reach. Okay, by all means, you will get home. The only difference is that gentle people under the Kaneshi under bridge get home at maybe 11 or 12 a.m. They get home very late. And yet, if you are going to be hard, okay, then you can get home most likely maybe at 7 or at 6. Is there anybody on this call who has experienced what I'm saying before? Where you
Yes,
go there?
sir.
Okay, tell me about it, Ignatius.
Me, I'm part of the Gentle Association. I will get home like 12 or 1 a.m.
Okay. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because all change is first personal. Okay. I like to say all change is leadership. And even when they talk about leadership, it's much more personal leadership. So it is seeming as if whenever we talk about life, life will present us three things, or things must be done in a certain way. The first is that somehow, if you have decided to live and live real life that makes impact, you are going to want how to lead yourself. And when I say lead yourself, it means that somehow, even though there are some people you want to make impact on, you are the first point of person who needs changing. So the impact maker must first look at themselves to try and then become better, as individuals. And it also then requires that somehow you must self-regulate. And self-regulate is when you, for example, in situations can be dynamic, okay? Or you can be agile to fit a case. So, for example, I know that Ghanaians, whenever we are writing exam, most of us we always sleep the normal hours. And when you find a Ghanaian student up at 2 a.m., you can be sure it is because of exam. As soon as exam passes, we switch back to a normal routine. It's not bad. Okay, at least the recognition that, okay, because I have something much more pressing, life must change around me, is self-regulation. So that somehow when you get to Kaneshi, the underbridge, and then you are standing there, that somehow, even if I am a gentle type like Ignatius, and I want to get home by 6 p.m., that gentle Ignatius needs to be set aside so that the more firmer, okay, Ignatius can come through so that I can arrive home. The third is that somehow if you are going to really make change, you need to have standards. The kind of world we are going in is such that you don't even need it to be in a class for a teacher to teach you before you know. And I like what Maurice was saying. Most people who are doing computer science, I tell them, your competition, they are watching YouTube videos. Okay. You are having a degree, but they are sitting at home watching videos and attempting things. So somehow you are going to have to draw from your inner self to have self-imposed standards. You don't need a teacher before you learn. You don't need someone's support before you move. You must become your own standard, or you must become your own force to be able to move things forward. And the more you do that, what is going to happen is that you are going to go through a certain process of knowing yourself. As soon as you begin to make yourself the first piece of the change you want to make happen, you are going to have to go through a certain process of self-knowledge. There are many things that have been said about self-knowledge, and I know that the people on this call, you're already aware. I don't have to talk much about it. You're aware that the most important or the most difficult knowledge of all is a knowledge of ourselves. Most of the time, our mind makes us think who we think we are in the eyes of people. Okay. And so somehow by understanding that you are leading yourself and paying attention to you first, it's a process that enables you to begin to now pay attention to the things that you do unconsciously and the things you do consciously. And whenever I talk about things about conscious, this is what I believe, okay, that when we talk about even life, the difference between an adult and a baby is that the adult is alive and not just alive. A baby is alive, okay? The difference between an adult and a baby is that the adult is awake, okay? And I think that where we are all headed when we come as we are growing up, the reason why we are even going through this process, Benjamin has put us here to think about impact. And I think when your mind is beginning to open to the need to even be part of impact, what is happening to you is that you are moving from just being alive into a deeper place of being awake. And being awake is that you become very conscious of the things that happen to you. When somebody is just alive, they just walk about, they live life on a normal, like the way things go. But people who are awake see the problems of the society. They are bothered when they see things on the floor, rubbish all around. They are bothered when they see maybe a tap, a puncture on a pipe somewhere, and then they are just passing by. They are bothered when they see children begging on the streets. People like that have moved beyond life. They have moved beyond the first stage of just being alive, and they have moved into a space where they are now awake. Okay. And what that process will do to you is that all of a sudden you begin to engage life the way how life is presented to you, and you begin to engage it to fight off what you know as the norm, to now dig deeper into what I call truth. Okay. And it is the reason why Jeremiah will say, it is the results. When I see the results, why? Because for some people, that result that is in Jeremiah's mind is still a mirage to them. For Jeremiah to be able to bring that kind of mirage and make it a perfect, picture, people will have to, or he himself will have to know the truth. And the truth is that the kind of truth that he will have to know is that sometimes the situations that we are in, most cases, are not permanent. And that if a person will become better at what they do, they can change their story. But I tell you that as somebody who has worked with young people all across this country for the past 10 years, these have done it across Africa and even engaged people across the world on a number of leadership programs. There are people who don't believe this simple statement. Okay. I know you may even think that, oh, but these days motivation is everywhere. The truth of the matter is that when somebody is blind to possibility, there's not much you can do. And it takes people who have moved away from just being alive, but now they are moving into a space where they are awake. People who see problems and they care. It is those people who begin to engage society and they want things to change. And I'm saying that because they themselves are also on a process of, leading themselves, they will need to know first who they are. Because the process will require that you have to do things that you don't feel comfortable to do. So there are some of you, what you are calling for will require that you need to stand before people and speak. Perhaps you need to be a little bit more angry, at the problem that you are seeing, because it is only your anger that will move you. Not necessarily anger to, do anything bad, but it is what will spark you to really put in action at whatever you want to do. And it means that even in the kind of position or in the kind of personality you have, you may need to move beyond your personality. So someone will say, oh, but me, I'm the quiet type. Yes, you are quiet until a dog is chasing you. Okay. When a dog is chasing you, even if you are the type who doesn't like running, believe me, you may be the fastest runner in the room. So it means that situations can force other parts of us out. And I'm saying that once you are going to go through a certain intentional process of wanting change to happen, you will have to live learning that kind of process for yourself. Okay. So it's a direct question that I'll put out there, but because we don't have time, I just want you to be thinking about this question. Are you awake or are you just living life? I guess your reason for wanting to be part of this foundation is proof that, hey, you want to do more than live. And it is great to know that people like you are here wanting to do that. So the process that we are going through now, okay, as Benjamin is bringing resource persons here, look at the fantastic work that Morris is doing with his team. It's so inspiring to know that people, who have stayed out will look back home and want to make so much change. It's such an inspiring story, because I know a lot of people who have left and they don't even want to thank Ghana again. And I'm saying all this engagement that is happening because of learning. But what the question is that what does learning do to you as we go through this process as change makers? Okay. Somehow we have to be able to move further than our own knowledge, our own insight, our own experience. So what knowledge does is that it provides us a certain probability. It is increasing your probability to do things right. So that on this call, as Jeremiah was giving us specifics as to somehow how he was engaging the communities and the things that he was doing, what it is doing to you in the learning process is that it is increasing your probability to be able, for you to also to be able to do that. And I'm saying that that part of the process is important for change makers, because for change to really happen and to happen sustainably, the change maker needs to be changed. And it is the reason why, for example, I mean, we all keep blaming our politicians for all the things that have gone wrong. But I always tell people that, hey, if you blame a politician, you too, you're a politician to somebody. Okay, so somehow uh, we have high standards for them, but we forget that we too, we have to have that self-imposed standards. And I'm saying that as you learn and you move along, what you are doing is that your probability to make things right begins to increase. And it is my hope that as it increases, you'll be able to actually function where you ought to function. And in that learning process, this is what is going to happen to you. Some of you who have come here to work with the organization, with the foundation, what is going to happen to you is that you are going to be given an opportunity to make mistakes. Okay, I encourage people make mistakes, but just make sure you are making it very fast, because at every age, the response to mistakes begins to increase with age. Okay, the consequence of your errors begin to increase the more you grow up. When you are younger, there are some things when you do, you'll be forgiven, but when you are, as you get older, you will not be forgiven. And it is a blessing to everybody who is part of this foundation, because you are going to get a space where you can make your little errors. It may be a letter that you are writing to maybe seek for sponsorship that you mistakenly write somebody's name. It may be maybe some funds that you should have kept it well, that a part of it is just going to get missing. And I'm saying that all that process is shaping you as an impact changer, okay, a change maker, so that as you can continue to grow up, you become sharper, you are able to even provide much more value to the society as we all find it. And this is a very, very important process. At the end of the day, your goal, okay, in the organization is what I call simulation. And simulation is looking like your future before you arrive. Somehow, if, for example, you are the finance secretary in this group, please understand that the role you play is the same as the finance minister of this country. Okay, so you must come to meetings with your notebook, come to meetings prepared. You must take things rather much more serious, because this is simulation. What is happening to you is that you are going through an environment that is allowing you the opportunity to even make errors to an extent. Okay, but it is also preparing you for the future, where the standards are higher, where the stakes are higher, and sometimes where things can become quite unforgiving. So if we are considering making great impact, I'm saying that the smallest of opportunity we have been given, we must hold it dear to our heart, and pay keen attention to even that small part that has been given to us. I have told many students, Charlie, take, even if it's a small meeting, a meeting of 2 people, you must show up as if you are part of a cabinet, you are a cabinet minister, serious about the thing, okay, so that things can grow like that. Most people who are change makers wanting to do great things don't necessarily get the depth of and how serious things are. But because by all means, one day you are going to arrive where you are going to get leverage, you will get a lot of people, hopefully a lot of resources. And at that point, it is what you have prepared yourself for that is going to show. And I put this picture here because I remember a story of a friend of mine when we were in primary school. He was part of the school band. And all he did was that he was at the back of the band, and he held 2 sticks. Okay, and he used to hit the sticks together. Cook, cook, cook. People were playing trumpet. People were playing the keyboard. People were doing the very loud instrument, but he was at the back of the room holding only 2 sticks, and he kept doing his cook, cook, cook. And we used to laugh at him that, I mean, people are doing something much more better. Why are you sitting? All you do is these two sticks. And then one day we went to school and an opportunity came. They were taking the whole band to the UK or the US. And interestingly, my friend who just held the two sticks at the back of the room was part of the people who were going to the UK. Okay. And I say this story because whenever I think about it and how we're laughing at him, it speaks loud to how sometimes we think that we don't even have a part to play, or maybe the part we are playing is not that significant. And tonight I have come, like I said, to make this about you, the change maker. Okay, for you to appreciate that you are going through a certain process. And even though today it may look like what you are doing is small, but it takes what you are doing to arrive where we are all going. There was somebody who was asking a question, and the person was saying, we know that Rice Foundation has started so small, but we are going to go around the world. Great. My challenge to you is that to go around the world, you will have to make your garden your world. Make your garden your world, and the world will become your garden. So there are parts that we all have to play. And no matter the smallest part you play, listen, you are part of the reason that makes the orchestra or the symphony of this life complete. And that is where purpose comes in. I think that just like my friend was playing those sticks, we all have a place that we ought to be. Okay. And people don't know how exciting it is to do what you have been called to do. And I tell you the truth that if you find what you have been designed for, you will be amazed. Okay, so the question is that how do I find that? When you begin to give yourself to wanting to make impact, the life will respond to you. Life responds to people who are givers and not takers. So, and the way life responds to you is that life will begin to show you the things that you don't like. So I always tell people, if you are trying to figure out what you have been called to do, okay, begin to take things out of your life. You will not know what you must do, but you will know what you must not do. That's how it works. Okay. So as you are beginning, you are working with the organization, as you are moving up and down, making your contributions here and there, you will notice that life will be calling you into, or will be taking you away from some things. There are some things that will not sound exciting to you. Okay. You can easily shelve those ones. Okay, and I'm saying that the more you take out the things that you don't like, life has a way of taking you to the things that you like. There are many ways to find your purpose. I do a purpose lecture for a certain organization. I do it. It is 1 week every day, 5 hours. Okay, so we can't talk about that here. But I'm saying that as you are going this journey, understand that there's a certain purposeful walk that you are walking. And that is why I put this here, at least as a way to tangibly bring some of these things home. How do I begin to do the change and be part of change? I think the first is that you must spend time with people who seem to be doing things that are purposeful. And clearly, what Benjamin is doing is exactly that. Okay. I have done this for all my life. I mean, when I went to the university, I was almost missing every class just to be traveling to places, helping young people, doing leadership things here and there. And I can tell you for a fact that what Benjamin is doing is a blueprint of what can draw people and take them into a certain purposeful destination. The second is that most people, when they are young and then they are coming up, they don't want to spend time with old people. Okay. But you see, because you are going to think about you must somehow know the future before you get there. You will need the eyes of old people. And I remember one day somebody told me, but Prince, what if the person I'm talking to, the person is a drunkard? Listen, if you have a drunkard around you, you don't need to read a book on why not to drink. Okay, leave that book for other people to read it, because the drunkard around you is a lesson. It's a statement enough for you not to drink. Okay. So somehow you may need to slowly, okay, and process how you engage old people. Know their flaws, know what they would have wished to do. Okay, 10 years ago, where were you? Okay, so why did you get here? You're not just speaking to only the best, you're even speaking to those who are still crawling. And also, even when you look at people, so I'm so excited that Morris came here to share, okay, and Jeremiah as well. Because the more you are asking these questions, thinking about it, listen, it is your only chance at how to see and walk a future without too many casualties. Everybody will be hurt, but we don't need to fight all the battles. And I'm saying when you begin to engage people who are older than you, that is when you begin to go that kind of journey. And also, one key thing, I think I mentioned that, somehow life just rewards people who are givers. If you want to be the one who wants to give, all of life will align for you. I have done many projects. I have done literacy initiatives for children. I have done leadership trainings for younger people in many, many areas. And I see that the more you become a giver, the more you become an attacker of life, okay, the more you begin to receive. The question is that, but if I am a young person, how do I attack? And my answer will be that even if you are the person in the orchestra holding the two sticks, as for you, the only thing you are doing, okay, is a school in your community. And because you don't have a job yet, you have decided that, oh, I'll go to the school every week and at least I'll go and spend 1 hour with those who are in JHS 2. And I'm just going to share and talk to them about life. It may seem insignificant, but I'm saying that that is exactly what it needs or what it means when we say you become an attacker rather than a defender. Okay, and even though I don't like football, I always put it to people that tell me one defender who is paid. There's no defender who has been paid higher, to even anywhere close to the best 5 attackers in the world. Every footballer who is paid the highest is in front. Okay. And even though we have amazing people at the back, but everybody who is paid the highest is in front. There's nobody at the back who is paid so much. At a certain threshold, it belongs to only those who are in front. And I'm saying that that is the kind of person you have to become if you are looking for where you also sit among the kind of change we are looking to make. Okay. And it also means, okay, so the fourth point, I've talked about it already. But my challenge to you today is that you have to begin serving, and it is now. Look around you. You will notice some, issues that are going on. A library that has been built maybe in your community that is not too complete. Students who are just walking about when they need to be in class, but they are playing around and you see them. Mothers who are going through challenges because perhaps they are coming from broken homes or they don't have anything to do. You will notice what I am saying. Okay, so don't leave this meeting and then go back in a reserved posture of just living life. But it is my hope that as you leave here, and then life will begin to take you where you really begin to see the challenges of society. Now, let me tell you, maybe in just a few minutes, my story. I started as a volunteer some maybe 12 years ago. I wrote a letter at home that I want to volunteer. I took it to an orphanage home. And when I took it to the home had always been receiving white people. White people come there to volunteer. So as a black person, when I took the letter there, they challenged me over and over that I don't understand the word volunteer. And I kept telling them, I understand. Okay, I have not come here because of the money. But they were rather surprised that a black man wants to volunteer. So I left that orphanage home with a very strong passion to do volunteer work and to draw in all my friends. Listen, today, even my wife has volunteered with me. Everybody around me volunteers. Okay, that journey took me much more, like I'm sharing with you today, that you are the first change. Something must happen to you. I think that process provided me the opportunity to really do some kind of introspection. It is what gave birth to my passion for leadership. It is what has given birth to this book that you see. It is what has given birth to being named one of the most influential young people in leadership in this country. It has given birth to many things. Everywhere, whatever work I have done across the country for the past 10 years, it's always been around leadership. Okay. And I tell people that even though when I was in school, I was not most of the time not in the lecture theater. I was rather much more open to learning about life, looking for answers that were beyond the text. And the more I did that, the more I got to know first myself. And I'm saying by doing that, what it has provided are tools that I'm able to do even much more. Okay. And I have been able to do all those things because it first began with a certain search to know myself. And that is what I have come here tonight to tell you about. That somehow we want things to be better in the country. Somehow we want things to be great. It is what everybody who is trying to climb up says. But the question is that when you get there, will you really do what you are saying? When you get there, will you also not abuse like the examples we have seen over the years? And I'm saying if you will not abuse those things, then it will be that you did not just arrive there, but you went through a certain process of self-knowledge, knowing who you are and preparing yourself as you did the work. So that's where I'll pause if there are any questions and then take them. Benjamin.
Wow, wow, this is powerful, interesting. So when Gideon brought you up that he has a very nice man who is also energetic and in the area of youth empowerment, I was like, are you sure you know him? So he gave me your handles and I went to Charlie. Whoa, interesting. So I had to reshuffle and take somebody out and put you there. And I think that has been a plus for us because seriously, I've written a lot, I've learned a lot, and I want to say we thank you very much for that. So I'll take a few questions and then we proceed. Please, question time. There are a lot of questions, so please, but you guys should not ask easy questions. You should go straight to the point. So please, question you hand up and then catch my eye and I'll call you. Any questions? Yes, any questions? Okay, so let me first ask my question. Maybe my question can draw your question. Okay, so sir, my question is, with all your experiences, both local and international, what in two ways, like in two ways, what actually fueled you? I mean, is it because of how you were thinking? Because you said that even way back school, you were missing lectures because of how you wanted to explore life and other things. I want to find out in two ways what actually fueled that passion. Was it something that it's in your DNA, or I don't know how to put it, but what actually fueled that? Or you read a lot, like what actually fueled that?
I think my first attempt probably came from kindness that I experienced from my grandfather. Okay. Yeah. I can tell you more about that, but maybe not on this platform. My grandfather, my family went into some challenges. My grandfather stepped in, and the way he took care of us like his own was very strange to me as a young boy. I mean, who did not know anything and wondering why is he just being so kind? So somehow I wanted to go out there and also be kind to somebody. That is how I just decided, let me just I've heard something about volunteering. Let me take a letter there to see what can happen. And entering that home, that orphanage home, is the reason why I'm here. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So what do you tell us then? Say, so what do you tell us? Like, I mean, some of us who are really passionate about being like you, what do you tell us?
You know, that is why I have come here to talk about being awake. Okay. Because I did not start the way you are starting. At least you get to hear stories of people who, at the time, I did not even know anybody around me who was doing some of these things. In the community I grew up, I was probably the first to do, maybe youth conferences and all those kind of things. Um, but you are starting from a place where what we are pressing on your heart is hunger. Hunger to see not just your own hunger, okay, but to see hunger that the society is looking for. And because we've done this over and over and over and over again, we've seen the results happen over and over and over again. That if you are going to go this journey, listen, at the end of it, you'll be glad you did. Uh-huh. There are many rewards that are hiding behind your thing
135.
that you must do. There are many rewards that come with it. Um, um, you'll be amazed the things that are waiting on the other side if only you become awake and begin to become, valuable
Great.
wherever you are. I hope this is
Okay.
useful. Ignatius.
Yes, very, 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 very useful. Yes, I think I can see a hand. Mr. Ignatius, please, you have the floor.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Prince. I don't know, but like you really made things very simple. You brought it to our understanding. And me, I've really learned a lot. And man of God, as Mommy said, you're a man of God. So God bless you. I wanted to ask this question. I think it's true. I will just marry them. Yeah, I believe you said you were inspired by the kindness that came from your own household. Yes, like your grandpa like inspired you. What if it is the opposite, but you have this passion to make impact? That your own household is really fighting the vision. They really
Mhm.
don't bring the support. They think you are not in alignment, but you know what you literally heard, or maybe what is burning inside you. How do you deal with these things? And secondly, how do you deal with fear? Because I believe that one of the major factors that limits impact is fear. How do you deal with that one? To go and thank you so much, sir.
These are legitimate questions, okay? And if I cannot stand here and tell you that because I had a passion, then my whole family came to support me. I lie to you if I tell you that, okay? I even believe that when you are really going on that path, the first people who may not understand you, they mean well, okay? Family means well when they are attempting to even kind of question the journey that you want to go on. The bottom line is that sometimes, especially from our part of the world, we don't have a lot of resources to spare. So we cannot allow you to experiment with your life in the hopes that something can happen to you. We have not seen your model before. We have seen the model where people go to school, then they look for jobs, and then they get their job, they marry, they have their children, and they are okay. That's the model that people who are around us know very well. But the model where all of a sudden you are in school and you are saying we should leave you, it's like you are leaving class, you want to go and do help the society. Please, you need like we even the people around you, we need help, okay, before you go and help society. So it will happen. Okay, if you're on this call and then you have a family that is supporting you, listen, you are one of the few people who are so blessed to have that kind of family. Because for most of us, family means well. It's not like they want us to do something wrong. They mean well. But what they are going to do is to attempt to stop because they have not seen this model. And I'm saying in today's world, I mean, today, even on this call, you've seen examples, models that you can go out there and share and say, oh, this person has even done this. And people can at least associate with what you are trying to mean. Okay. So I'm saying that at the end of the day, those things will happen. How do you overcome them? What I tell people is that you will not convince, if people don't agree with you, believe me, you will not convince them in any way. The only way that you'll be able to convince them is to show your results. Okay. And so somehow you are going to have to find a nice way to negotiate your way around, wiggle yourself out of situations so that you can be allowed to do what you want to do. And also, as a change maker, that's what I'm saying. You as a change maker is you are your first project, okay? You are your most important project. If you get better, things around you will become easier. So you have to spend time on books. You have to spend time watching YouTube videos, find out how people went around some of these challenges that you're even asking. Okay, how do I, because listen, somebody who may be complaining around you may only be complaining because the money they have given to you, they don't have any much more money to give to you if you are going to spend that money to go and care for somebody's child. So the question is that how do I also find other resources? How do I become so resourceful that I don't depend on my family? How do I make sure that I can get some friends, like gather some way to get my results without spending? Okay, and I tell you, it is possible to get things done without spending. There are many things you don't have to spend on as a change maker. Many things you don't have to spend on because depending on the depth that you have given to learning, okay, to exposure, to awareness, to all these things, you will be able to navigate and see where you can connect pathways to bring resources your way for what you want to do. Uh-huh. And I tell you out of experience, I've done many conferences. I did not pay any money, okay, to do anything. Resource person came for free. Sometimes you like even organizations that you may think they may not support. But I'm saying that there's a way, but it's all hiding behind our getting better. Okay. As for fear, the issue of fear is because, again, sometimes the reason why you fear is because you have not seen somebody in your situation do the same thing before. So what is helpful is that sometimes as you can research, get to know people who they may not necessarily have your full experience, but they may be close to home. So maybe they also started at least closer, a little bit closer the way you have started. That gives a bit of confidence because you are able to then, as like you can lean on what they have already achieved as results to be able to journey. Sometimes you will still not be able to do that for yourself, and it may be a personality issue. We are all not the same. Some people fear much more than others. And if it is a personality issue, it means that you may need to cultivate an environment of people who are high believers, people who will even use their heads to break the, even if there's a wall, they say, oh, we can go through. Okay. When you put yourself in a community of people who are also believers, they know visionary people who are trying to do some of these things, they will help you manage your fear as you go the process. I hope this is helpful. There are many ways, but I really hope that at least this speaks to it a little bit.
Okay, so please, pardon me, I wanted to add up to, I want to do a follow-up question.
Sure.
There are instances where you spoke about you navigating your way through,
Yeah.
maybe if your family is not working, is not
Yes.
supporting and stuff. There are instances where people can just break, like they just leave their family, they separate themselves for a while, and then what will literally make you know that this is the right time to separate?
Okay, so
So
let me tell you, okay, all these things that
uh-huh.
you are saying may happen to me. Okay. And there are many people I've told them, Charlie, you don't stay at home. Don't be at home. And it's the reason why I tell them that is because, so for example, you come to school and after school there will be break, so you are going home. The question is that must you go home and spend all the time at home? Not necessarily. Okay. Maybe you can use a few months to do what you will do because they still know you are in school. The only thing they will call to say is that, oh, so when are you coming? But if you arrive home and now you want to go and do things, then it's a little bit tough. And also, most of the time, when you are having engagements with family, get them to your only chance is to get them to give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, you can't get them to the other side for them to fully believe you. They have not seen what you are saying. But the point is that one, if you can get them to the point where they give you the benefit of the doubt, now you must prove to them that what you're actually saying is true, or what you are working on, you must be given the chance. So I tell people, if you are engaging with family and they say, we have told you, okay, you go. Please, when you hear you go. Okay, because they will never fully understand that process. A purposeful process will be delayed for everybody. Listen, Mary was pregnant. It is Mary who saw an angel. We all don't know. Okay, the only person who knows that Jesus, okay, is not any man's son. The only person who knew is Mary. And yet, when Jesus was in the church, Mary went back for him. And look at the question that Jesus asked him. So don't you know that I must be about my Father's business? So the thing is that about you, you are the woman who, at least you met the angel. You have told the world that you are a virgin. So you don't know that there's also business that I need to be doing out here. Okay, so somehow Jesus assumes that his mother, his earthly mother, must know. And I'm saying that if Mary did not know, don't expect that your mother will know, unless your mother has also seen angels. The one who saw angels did not know. So get family to believe you to the point where they give you the benefit of the doubt. And when they do that, I'm saying that go in fully and prove them right by being true to yourself, knowing, learning, becoming better always, so that you can get the kind of results to prove your case. After my long walk, after years of always begging and then sometimes walking, having to leave when they say, okay, you go, we don't know what you're doing, but you go. Then I'll always leave. One day I was there when my father called me, and for the first time he stretched his hand and he said, want, for a handshake. And when I greeted my father, he looked me in the eye and he said, I now understand what you have been up to. I now understand. Okay. So what I'm saying that that is one. Sometimes, depending on who you are dealing with, you can take somebody home for the person to explain the process. Sometimes people don't trust what you say. Maybe another voice, more an authority voice can do the difference.
Yay.
I think that sometimes you can even take family. Okay, what you are saying, they don't believe it, but if they can follow you to a conference and they go and hear somebody else on the stage talking about it, they can believe at least you to a certain extent. Please, I don't know if this is helpful, Ignatius.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Daniel.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm glad as far as this um, foundation is concerned, and this one has been power packed. And my question is, from your presentation, you made a mention of being awake. Now, let's say that I am awake. What is the first point of contact? Let's say if I want to build a foundation like this, what are the first group of people I have to contact? Is it the financiers? Is it people who think like me, people who have the same vision like me? Some may have the same vision, but they can't really help for the moment. So what is the first group I have to meet so that it can help me propel into the future?
Okay, that's a very good question. And how I wish I could hear some. Well, we don't have the time because I still think there's wisdom in the room. People could have even shared much more better than I will. Okay. But if you are going to begin any initiative at all, don't forget that I still stand on my firm ground that you are the first person who needs to be different, who needs that kind of learning process. If you have done that, it is not a process that ends. It is a journey through, it's a very long journey. In fact, uh, as you are going along, if you get to a point where you think you have arrived, believe me, you are not awake. Okay. Anybody who is awake is aware that the more they learn, the more they realize they don't know. The more they learn, the more they think there are things that they are lacking. Okay, so they have a certain student mentality in their work. But back to your question, if you are going to begin any initiative, definitely your first point of call, as for people with money, listen, there's money floating around the world. These days, there's so much money. You can see people getting all manner of scholarships, traveling out there, projects here and there. But fundamentally, if this is your first day and you're saying, let me begin a certain process, after clarifying exactly, sometimes it may not even be clear, but putting thoughts together and just saying that, okay, let me just begin something. You want to bring in the people that you first have the influence over. Okay, people who you don't have to explain to a very long time. They already believe you to an extent. And most of the time, these are friends we have worked with, people who are maybe we play football with, we do a number of things, so they are classmates. Those people, they don't really, they will the thing is that those people will believe you before they ask questions. And I'm saying it's a first level process to begin. You are going to go a certain point where you are now going to be able to engage people who will ask questions first before they believe you. Okay, and that category includes the people who who have the finances to support. If you are going to get somebody's resources to do something, it better be somebody who believes you before they ask questions. But anybody who wants to give money will ask questions first before they believe you. But if you are trying to just take it off, you need the first group first. You need those who believe you before they ask questions. I mean, that's how um the simplest way I can put it. It can be more complex on team level, how to build teams and all that, but I'm sure that this should make sense, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Very powerful. I have to take your number and then we can talk more because you sound like who I want to be. And thank you very, very much. This is it has been very inspiring, and we are grateful for having time out your busy schedules to come and speak to us, young people, as we are willing to make impact. This is part of the building process, and we're actually building ourselves to get ourselves acquainted with the knowledge and what we need to know before we go to ground. We don't want to go to ground and be like, hey, I wasn't expecting this, but we're going to this. No, we want to equip ourselves well enough so that when we get to the field, we know what we are doing. And I'm telling you that by the grace of God, you would one day look at us as Rise Impact Foundation and be proud that yes, you were part of the people that oriented us for the task that we are doing. And we are not going to let you down. We're not going to make this end here just for you to come and speak and go. No, no, no. We are going to actually put them into practice so that one day we'll be proud of the people or the organization we have become. Thank you very much, and God bless you, sir. There's a hand up. Daniel, is your hand up? Do you still want to talk? Okay, I think he's already. All right, sure. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is Rise Impact Foundation, our day 2 orientation section. Checking my phone. The reason I keep checking my phone is that we are still waiting. I don't know why the flight has delayed because I've tested him and only take once. So we don't know why, but one thing that I will assure you is that the Honorable Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Deborah, is ready and willing to be on board for us. And he's actually one of the brains behind the establishment of this NGO. So he's willing to be on board and is willing to impact us positively. So regardless how he is on, he's willing and he has accepted 100% that he's on board for us and whatever we need, whatever it takes, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, insight, finance, or whatever, he's willing to come on board to support us. So that is him, the Honorable Julius Zebra. You can search. Now, one thing is that whenever I'm going for a conference or I'm going for a meeting, I make sure I search on all the guest speakers and then research about them. I follow them on LinkedIn, I follow them on all social media handles to get to know more about them. You get it? So let's do that. And then I believe with God being on our side, we'll be able to thrive as an NGO. Rise Impact Foundation is open to all. If you're a graduate, you're in the university, if you've completed the university, if you are a fresh SHS leaver, you are willing to make impact, then you can come on board. The link has been shared in the comment section. Just click on the link and then it will direct you straight to our WhatsApp channel. We are on all social media handles. This section has been streamed on our social media handle on YouTube. You can access the recorded section and edited section on our YouTube channel, Rise Impact Foundation, and you have full access to the orientation section. Without much ado, we'll have to end the section. But what I'll do is that I'll let the Honorable Chief of Staff do a voice note, and I'll send the voice note to the platform whenever he arrives, because he's still on the flight to US. So whenever he arrives, I'll let him send a voice note or maybe a video presentation, and I'll share the presentation with you guys on the official WhatsApp platform. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I believe you've learned a lot. The NGO remains open to anybody who is willing to come on board. Our executives here will briefly introduce themselves, and then we take the vote of thanks to Miss Angela, and then a few words from and then we are out of here. So please, dear executives, if you are here, you kindly open up your camera, you open up your audio, and you speak to us. Tell us your name, if possible, your social media handles, and we can as well follow you. Thank you very much. I think they are pointing hands at me for me to do the introduction first. So my name is Benjamin Kestibwatin. If you call me Junior Mugabe, I'll respond. On all social media handles, search for Benjamin Kestibwatin or Junior Mugabe. It will pop up. You see my handsome face over there. On all social media handles, I'm there. So you can just slip into my DM and let's have some kind of cordial. I'm the CEO of Rise Impact Foundation.
All right. I'm Gideon Komi, the media head for the media department or the media unit. And I'm on social media as Gideon Komi or the word experts. Thank you.
My name is Mami Ose Kwache, Secretary for Rise Impact Foundation. And anywhere you want to look for me, I'm Mami Akuma Ose Kwache. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Angela Senadugo. I'm the Deputy Communication Publicity Head for Rising Impact Foundation, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Yes, we are waiting.
Okay, hello. My name is Ignatius, and I'm the Deputy Media Head for Rise Impact Foundation. So,
They will introduce themselves in the group, so that we can do that one. Edu Button, please, are you saying something? Mr. Raphael. All right. So I think the rest, they would want to introduce themselves in the official channel. So yes, please. Daniel, you have the floor. We can talk.
Yes, please. With the introduction that you are talking about, what they just did, that's very nice. But I'll request that after the introduction over here, they get us their names on the platform and their social handles so we can follow them to know what our leaders are doing, what their minds are, whatever they're writing anywhere. And I'll be happy so that if we can see all of them, their faces, the few we just saw and the rest, even if they'll do the introduction over there, but our next meeting on Zoom, we want to see their faces so that we know that these are our people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think all of them show their faces, apart from the fact some of them that have not yet introduced themselves. But I think moving forward, you would see them. They are all beautiful and handsome. You see, very energetic and passionate about leadership and impact making. So you will get to know them, You can just slide in. They're all following Rise Impact. So if you follow Rise Impact on social media, all social media handles, especially with LinkedIn, yes, so please let's all follow Rise Impact Foundation, and then we are all good to go. So without wasting my time, I'll take um the final wish, the vote of thanks from Miss Angela Senadugo.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please, you are.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Rise Impact Foundation, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to all who made this two-day virtual orientation a success under the theme, The Youth and Impact Making. First, our sincere thanks to our distinguished speakers, Jeremiah Simpson, Maurice Cheetham, Prince Ampofo, Julius Deborah, and Benjamin K. Bratton, for sharing your wisdom experiences, and encouragement with us. Your insights have truly shaped our understanding of what it means to create meaningful impacts as young people. To our participants, thank you for your time, energy, and commitment through these 2 days. Your engagement proves that the future is indeed in capable hands. A special appreciation also goes to the organizers, volunteers, and the entire Rise Impact Foundation team for their dedication in making this orientation not only possible, but impactful. As we close, let us carry forward the lessons learned and continue to be agents of change in our communities and beyond. Thank you all once again, and may the journey of impact making never end here. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. And the final part is, so she is actually the voice behind our site and everything. She's also she does voiceover. She's a professional one. So if you have any event or something you wanted to advertise on or something, and slip to her DM. She's also in the group. You can even talk to her where then she will reduce the price for you. So yes, that's our final part. We have our prayer by Ignatius. Mommy, please, is there any word for us, secretary? Any announcements or something?
No, please. Anything that comes up, we'll let you know on the main platform. Thank you. That's especially those of us who are able to join both days. May God richly bless us all. And may He give us the zeal to continue making impact as we have decided to do. And Mr. Daniel, sorry, I'm supposed to show my face. So this is my face. Hi, everybody. So yes, thank you so much. And God richly bless you. And if anything comes up along the way, any information about our first project, whatsoever that's going to happen in the foundation, we'll let you know on the main page and in all our social media handles. So on all platforms, we are Rise Impact Foundation. Rise Impact Foundation, same spelling as it is done in English. Yes. That's all our information. And if you want to reach out to any of the executives, we are all of the executives are on all the platforms. We are mostly the admins on the platforms. So if you want to tell us anything, if you have any ideas, if you want to suggest any project, whatever it is that you want us to do for you, or how you want to help the association, please let us know so that we all move on from there. All right, it's been a wonderful session, and I'm hoping that everybody learned something. See you all in our next session, and may the good Lord bless us all. We'll take our closing prayer. Okay, I am praying. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this day, and we thank you so much that you have protected us in all our 2 days. We hope for your grace in all our endeavors. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.